Yes, it is time for another big, easy meal using supreme rice. Chef Kevin Belton is back in our Winn-Dixie kitchen to share a delicious weeknight meal that's gonna wow the family. Okay, Chef Belton, welcome back.
Wait, thank you for having me back. I can't wait to find out about the rugs, to hear the music.
Okay.
And I'm getting old, so.
Well seasoned like your food,
well
Chef
seasoned.
Kevin, okay.
Right, here's what we're doing. We're using jasmine rice today.
Ooh.
And we want to we're gonna go with some flavors. I have honey in here. I'm gonna put in some brown sugar in that honey. I'm gonna put in a little sesame oil.
Yummy, this is a sauce.
Yes. A little teriyaki sauce.
Come on, building of the flavors.
A little soy sauce.
Yummy.
Sriracha for a little heat.
Ooh, a little spicy on
Now,
this Tuesday.
You know, one of the things about a lot of the Asian flavors is things like lemongrass. This is lemongrass. You know, I have some here on the counter. When you cut to the center of it, if you press it with your thumb and it's soft, that's the part you want to use.
Okay.
Fresh ground ginger.
Yummy.
Fresh ground garlic.
And this lemongrass, what is it going to give? Like a more of a celery flavor, a lemony flavor?
Lemongrass is like a citrusy flavor.
Okay.
It's like think of like a green onion, but with a citrusy flavor.
Yeah.
So what I have here is pork belly.
Hey, pork belly.
Which is basically, when you see it, it's like a whole slab of bacon. Picture a whole slab of bacon. That's what pork belly is.
Right.
And I want to show you how I got to this point, but I want to get this sauce in here because while this is going to glaze down.
Ooh, look at that sizzle, y'all.
So here on the plate, what I've done, I took the piece of pork belly, cut it, and then I scored it. Basically, I just took a knife and I scored it to where you see the cut marks in it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You take a cast iron skillet, put it on the stove, but don't turn it on. Put the fat side down, then put it on a medium heat, and see, this is what happens. You're rendering that fat out of it. Does that make sense?
It sure does.
After about 10 minutes, I turn it over. I do the bottom side, turn it over a couple more times, and this is the fat that comes out of it. But once I render most of this fat out, I can cut it up in cubes. And that's how we got to this point here.
Now, is there a reason why you saved it?
Oh, I save it because you use it for other things.
Of course, yes.
So you know, like
the fat.
like I cooked. Once I cut it up, I browned it back in. I put the meat back in and browned it in the fat. But then I drained all the fat for our sauce to stick to it.
Makes it healthier.
Here's the thing about the jasmine rice, okay? And this is where, oh man, I love our rice farmers. Jasmine rice has more selenium and magnesium in it.
Selenium, new word.
So it helps fight cancer cells, it helps with the heart, but because of the oils in jasmine rice, it also helps with diabetes and helps lower cholesterol. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
But you know, it has a great flavor. So when you're cooking, as opposed to just using regular long grain rice, go ahead, you can do Louisiana dishes with that jasmine rice.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why, you know, Louisianians do things for a reason. And I think that's why our farmers started growing the jasmine rice, because they knew how good it was for us.
Absolutely.
You know? Because look at the flavors here. And you see this sauce is starting to thicken up.
It smells so good.
With that honey.
So good.
So look, let's take a little bit of this. Now, a couple of options, okay? To finish this off, we can garnish it with a little diced jalapeno. I took out the seeds and I took out the membrane where the heat is.
Yeah.
We can garnish it at the end, but I'm gonna put a little bit on now.
Okay, so we got heat on top of heat.
Well, it's flavor. Don't
Flavor.
think of it as heat
I like
think of it as flavor, okay?
I like a little spice. We'll take it, Chef Kev. And I'm curious, why did you choose like pork belly over maybe just like a pork chop? What about the pork belly made you say this is gonna work well for this dish?
I hate to say it, fat is flavorful. It's got that little bit of fat, but that's why it was important to render it out.
Correct.
We rendered it out. Look, a little sesame seed to garnish that. Look how pretty that is.
Come on.
So go ahead and try that with that rice and see how you like it.
Now, how did you prepare your rice this time?
Now, my rice, you could prepare it like the package says. Now, some folks do a 2-to-1 ratio. Today I boiled it, you know, low salt in the water, little bit of chicken stock, and I boiled it and I rinsed it to stop it from cooking. And you lost your concentration. I rinsed it to stop it from cooking because I knew it was going to reheat it.
Yes.
Okay. So that's why a lot of times, Mom and Grandma had that pot on the stove with the colander and the rice in it, and they would always reheat it. But if you're going to use all your rice, sometimes I'll do it that 2-to-1 ratio where it sits in the pot because you're going to use all of it. If you want to make extra and have leftovers, I go ahead and boil it. Okay. But look at the ingredients. Sesame oil, honey, brown sugar. There's your sweet.
It's so good.
You get that little saltiness from your soy and your teriyaki. You heat from your sriracha. That little bit of diced jalapeno also gives you that little bit of a bite. But I don't know if you get a citrusy flavor. That's
sure
from
do.
that's that lemongrass.
This
okay?
sauce, you need to bottle this and sell it. You hear me? It is so good. Now, this also can go great with what? Chicken, beef.
Let me tell you, you could do this with tofu.
Yeah, it's so good,
You
y'all.
could do this with beef. You could do it with, shrimp. Okay.
Just make the sauce and pour it over the jasmine rice. Honestly, it is
You could.
so
You
good.
could. You
But
know what
this
else?
fat,
Take a nice big fat portobello mushroom, saute that baby off in a skillet or on the grill, then put that on top of your rice and drizzle a little bit of the sauce over the top of it.
y'all, it's the bomb diggity, Chef Kevin. This is gonna wow the family, okay? Make sure you check out this recipe. It'll be available on greatdaylouisiana.com.
But that rice helps complement it.
It does.
That rice helps absorb it, and that flavor of the jasmine rice, which is a nice bright flavor.
Yes.
Yeah, it all works together. It all works together.
Shout out to all the jasmines out there. Jasmines are good for the body, good for the soul. Okay, Chef
That's
Belton, thank you so much for the breakfast. Okay, and look, for more great recipes using Supreme Rice, log on to supremerice.com and follow them on Facebook and Instagram. You're seeing all the handles on your screen right there. Now look, don't go anywhere.